But that was game one. Both teams really have a lot of room to grow and a lot of synergy they got to work on. But they're gonna only way to do that's with practice. So game two.
We'll see if they can fix it here in this game. I don't know how fast it's going to keep, but the Robin going to be something that Retribution has to be aware of right now. Predators, such a magnificent job, not only getting ahead in the early game, but staying relevant into the late game, really bothering Elexum and GetFisher, not allowing those kind of hyper carries or really strong carries in the late game to be able to get to his backline. He was just annoying them, and it was really hard to kill him as well. We saw him just juking out multiple people from the beginning of the game to the end.
So if you're Retribution, who do you respect, Ban?
I mean, I still think you could focus on the meta. Maybe look to pick the Robin yourselves. You had an Erlang who's got a pretty solid matchup himself, but I think just a little bit too much chasing from Mango Man in that kind of mid-game got him just repeatedly behind.
Yeah, well, first ban coming out, going to be the meta Nemesis. Nobody wants to deal with that. Shredding protections, as well as the Ao Kuang. All right.
Excellence here. Couple options. They could look to ban the Fafnir if they don't want to pick up themselves. Don't exactly know, what style Mr. Turtle's going to go into if he wants to go for that. And they are actually. So this tells me that they don't want to first pick Fafnir, or it's something that Turtle doesn't have in his god pool.
Don't want to go. I mean, even though it is very useful, you don't want to pick something up that you're not familiar with or you don't feel very comfortable with. So just go ahead and ban it out. Soul banned out by Retribution. I mean, Farleez did a really good job.
Especially into the late game, once the Soul has full build, it really starts to devastate your team. So just making sure that's not going to be an option. I don't even think Excellence probably wouldn't have first picked it. It could have gone to that style. I really doubt it here. Excellence have a couple things to go for. They could go for the first pick, Susano. We saw GetFisher not really able to utilize it, but it can be strong in the hands of the team that gets ahead. But Freya, surprising to be first picked. I like Freya, but first pick?
I mean, I feel like last week was all about the Zeus. This week, all about the Freya. Freya first picked in, because we saw Zeus first pick last week too.
Times.
So Freya, I mean, Farleez, he did really well with the last magical ADC he played. So
True.
Why not Freya?
With the Soul banned away, maybe go to that one here. Probably could have looked for a Chronos as well, likely. But the issue with picking up Freya early is that
you can build into it.
Retribution can just counter that so easily by getting a dive composition that's going to be able to jump on her in the back line and really bother her. There's the options for, obviously, Thor's. Neith's very good at shutting down Freya's in the early game. We see a lot of Chronoses that can box against her really well. And so this may come back to haunt Excellence.
Just a little bit, but as you mentioned, Neith going to be the first pick in for Retribution. I mean, even if it wasn't because they picked the Freya, it's still a nice pick. Maybe not first, but they want to go ahead and lock it down because otherwise it may have gotten banned out.
I mean, Jeron had picked it up there last game. Just kind of had a quiet game for the most part, and Susano going to be picked up against the Retribution, still going with a similar style composition. I think they were confident with it, and I did like their composition. I just don't think they were able to execute it really. Neither team really said that, to me, had like this massive edge coming into the game.
I like GetFisher on the Susano. While he wasn't necessarily getting all the kills for his team, he wasn't finding these clutch, amazing kills. He was saving his teammates left and right with the use of his Typhoon. He wasn't using it for kill secure. He was using it to keep the rest of his team alive against Excellence.
I think the main issue with that GetFisher had in that game is that we saw him going into the back lines, dumping his kit, but it was 1 versus 3, and he just didn't have the damage. Now, whether it was just because he was so far behind, so he wasn't able to 100-0 someone, or if that was just he probably shouldn't have gone in, both of those are potential there. And I loved what 50-meter Fly did, going into that Warlock Sash, which made it even harder for GetFisher to pin him down because he was gunning for him.
A little bit of extra defense, but we have the first 3 picks coming out from both teams. Erlang, Shen, and Isis for Excellence, and Susano and Chronos added in for Retribution.
I'd like to see a ban of Ratatoskr for Retribution, maybe even Thor as well, just kind of remove those globals on the map. I don't think Maloaise had the cleanest game, but we did see him able to pick up kills in the backline with his ultimate. Also, really strong engages, found multiple people's knocked up.
Yeah, we didn't necessarily see it for kill secure, only a couple times, and sometimes they did miss. But he was the forefronter half the time. After that fight started, he was like the next line of defense jumping in.
Him and Turtle were the duo aggressors there. Instead, though, Retribution going to ban away the Bacchus. They did have that themselves, I think. No, it was Turtle. It was Turtle who rocked it. So stealing that away, obviously, Turtle had a pretty solid game. I wouldn't really say he shined anywhere. I wouldn't really say he got himself in too much trouble.
I mean, even though the Bacchus couldn't steal that first Gold Fury, which did go to Retribution, he still punished them for it.
Set up
in
the kill,
twofold.
opened up the invade opportunities as well.
Exactly. Guan Yu banned out. No heal, no sustain. No real surprise.
Excellence probably could have went for the Guan Yu themselves if they wanted to put it in the dual lane, maybe give Freya a little bit more potential, but I feel like they would have been lacking. They also ban away the Odin, which would have been really good against their composition. Yeah. And a little bit surprised to not see Retribution go for something like that instead of the Chronos.
Yeah, I was sitting here, I'm like, why the Odin? Oh, Isis, Erlang, forcing out Freya ult, never mind. That makes a lot more sense now.
Retribution here, first pick in the second phase of their draft, and they're going to go for the support, pick up Athena. Also, Athena, very good against Freya, very good against Isis as well, just being able to cancel out her Wing Gust, set up for so much kill potential, and Freya just really struggles against those massive CCs that reposition her.
The taunts are going to be real coming out from Retribution and Athena. It's really going to be up to nMinos there to just really run rampant with it. They did ban out Sobek, so Excellence aren't going to be able to use that. I mean, they probably could use it to their advantage, but instead, Athena is a really good pick, as you mentioned, into that Freya, and I feel like because Freya was first picked, everything's got, like, everything is on this Freya.
Retribution's composition is designed to farm this Freya, which is going to be very heavily on Jeron. He's going to need to stay alive in this. He can't die early, and it's almost not his fault if he does die early at this point. Retribution's comp is so good, and you're even going to see either a Robin or a Sun Wukong last picked here. I don't know what Retribution want to go for, though.
I mean, it's going to be up against the Erlang Shen, so what is better going into him?
I mean, you could go the Robin again. Obviously, Predators had a pretty good matchup there against it, but I think that was more individual skill than anything else.
Yeah.
I think Predators just outclassing Mango Man more than the matchup itself.
I mean, Robin is still available, so you can go ahead and pick that right back up, but instead it's going to be an Osiris into the Erlang Shen, and I like that.
Yeah, so Osiris and Robin are very similar, where they have so much poke, a lot of multiple abilities on low cooldown that you can just keep stacking up against your opponent. You also have that, AoE basic attack on the last hit chain, so he's going to be able to heal pretty efficiently. But this is really a counter pick into the healing that Retribution has, or excuse me, Excellence has drafted. Obviously going to be able to, his ultimate able to negate 100% healing for anyone hit. Very good against the Isis, very good against the Freya, and same with that Erlang Shen.
Yeah, a little bit of a group up earlier on. Maloaise taking a little bit of damage, but nothing he can't regen back up. Retribution looking a little aggressive, though. Looks like they really want to go ahead and answer back to Excellence's win.
I'm really worried for Mr. Turtle and Farleez. This Sylvanus Freya duo lane is going to get farmed. If I'm GetFisher, that's all I'm looking to do is rotate over, kill Farleez on cooldown with the Elexum's ultimate from the duo, from mid, excuse me.
And I feel like we don't usually see a lot of duo ganks. If we do, it's usually at the 2-minute mark. It's going to have a little bit of a rotation coming in from the mid as well. But we don't really see that often. But because of this team comp, you kind of need to.
If I'm GetFisher, I'm like, all right, guys, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to farm Farleez. And there's nothing he's going to be able to do to stop it, right? Farleez could play everything absolutely perfectly and still be 0-5 by 10 minutes if Retribution really want to commit that heavily to him. Now, obviously, sometimes it gets a little bit risky if you're trying to dive towers because you can get everything turned on.
Exactly, but so far, pretty standard start. Fly doing a really good job to clear out those creep, but Elexum doing good on that Neith as well. So we're not going to have the ADC Neith, going to have the Neith in the mid lane this go around.
And I love Neith in the mid lane, especially against very vulnerable side lanes where she's going to be able to ult over. Neith ult is not really useful in your own lane. It's too telegraphed, you know what's happening. Whereas sending an Neith ult from a different lane means not only is it going to be the 2v2 still, but you're also going to have that extra ultimate. You're going to have that extra impact into a lane.
Have a little bit of extra time too. It's not going to have to fly across the entirety of the map. It's going to be a lot shorter because you're centered in the middle of the map.
And you can see that on either side lane, right? Both side lanes are going to be able to get ganked. The Osiris has a really good matchup against the Erlang Shen. Going to be able to reduce a lot of his damage with Tether, and then full commit, right? The ultimate going to reduce 100% healing from Erlang Shen's ults, and then the Neith ults on top of that, just that extra CC. Going to be hard for Erlang to survive if GetFisher wants to pressure on that side as well.
I mean, as you mentioned, that Mango Man doing a good job of continuing to push Predators back into the tower. This is only the second or third wave coming in, and I mean, Predator's really just not able to really withstand this Osiris just yet.
This is not going to be anything he's going to be able to match up to in the early game, and Mango's got to just keep poking him out as much as possible. Never let Predators feel comfortable, and Predators knows it too. You can see going to lose a little bit of gold under tower there. Actually does manage to stop it. Mango not pressuring him up close, even though the pin was down.
It's a little bit of a different start coming out from Retribution because both of these lanes that we're seeing, the duo and the solo, very aggressive, pushing hard, and I mean pushing as quickly as possible. Already we're 2 minutes in, and both of these guys have been back in the tower multiple times, and Mango Man taking a lot of damage, but Predators taking a lot more, trying to find the last couple of hits, but forcing out the turtle back into the tower.
And this is great for Osiris because his poke is just a little bit cleaner. It's going to be long ranged. You can see he can do it from a relatively safe way, and he still has great ability to clear the wave at the same time here. Early rotation, early purification. nMinos doesn't even need to pop his taunt for that to come out from 50 meter.
I mean, even because they knew it was happening at that point. 50 got the good stun, but a little bit, just a little bit of a, I guess, a panic purification.
I mean, he had to do it right, no matter what, because he was going to get taunted, and it would have been way too devastating to fight up against a Neith, a Susano, and an Athena in that situation, so just burning it very early. He had the stun, so he might have been able to get away, but it was just a little bit too risky for him, wanting to play it safe.
Predators pushed out once again. Looks like GetFisher coming to the aid at this point of the Osiris, waiting for the opportunity to come in on Predators, but he's already scared enough. He's been outpushed the entirety of the games thus far, so GetFisher not really going to be able to find too much coming out of Predators, but he is going to find a pull, but going to be able to run away.
A little bit surprised not to see the full commit there. Obviously, they don't know how close the Isis and the Ratatoskr are. Great speed buff pickup from Excellence there, just around the corner. GetFisher and Mango Man trying to surprise them there. Although they could look for the blue if they really wanted to. They have the Neith rotating over as well, and now Retribution, this is what they need to do. They need to pressure out like this.
Here comes Athena, waiting for the ultimate to charge. Typhoon coming in, Predator's so low. Gonna get the good taunt, a little bit of heal coming in as well, and GetFisher forced out.
This is trouble now. He's getting followed by a minion, so he's on the map, and you can see the Ratatoskr in the sky, the Isis as well. GetFisher,
boom,
first blooded, and you know, that's not even on GetFisher. GetFisher played that exactly how he needed to. This is Retribution being way too scared. Mango Man had his ult. He was almost full health. The Athena wasn't the first in. Mango just playing way too far back. That was a free kill onto Predators. That was a very easy first blood that they couldn't convert.
Maloaise trying to add a little bit of extra pressure onto Mango Man as well. Just go ahead and have him back off. The lane presence here coming in from the jungler. If anything, it's just to show, hey, I'm here. You can't keep doing this too much.
Can't bully me out too much. Excellence now with that first blood have a decent gold lead, about 600 gold, and Retribution can't let this get into their head. They still need to be the aggressors. They have a composition designed to shut down this Freya. Also very good against the Erlang, Shen, and Isis. They have so much kill potential, and if they let Excellence farm up into the late game, once the Freya's build starts to come online, once Erlang Shen stops being as susceptible to dying in this early situation as he has protections, it's going to be much harder for Retribution to execute.
Retribution trying to steal away these mid camps, instead going to be locked down very quickly by Excellence. There wasn't even anything there for them to be able to steal by the time they turned that corner.
You can see Predators, yeah, just try to put some presence there on that blue buff, seeing if he could spot it out, but not going to happen. A curse actually picked up for the Athena as well. We didn't really mention it, but can set up a lot of kills as Ratatoskr rotating to this right-hand side, looking for this Osiris.
So, yeah, trying to find him at this point. Here comes a lot of damage. Going to be the good pin. He's getting exploded. The ultimate going to get used. And then Neith channeling the ultimate onto Maloaise as well, but there's not going to be any follow-up. GetFisher in the wings, but I mean, they're a little too pushed back. Long-range poke coming in. Here comes a Typhoon. Good knock-up on the Predators, but Maloaise is already out of the immediate danger.
Really fast ultimate from Maloaise there, or excuse me, dash away. The second he saw GetFisher rotate in, the immediate 180 whip, dashes away, doesn't get knocked up by the ult, but once again, Excellence also a little bit scared there. They could have had a kill onto Mango Man, and Mango Man didn't immediately ult, and I think they were surprised at that. I think the plan was just to force out his ult and then get away, but Mango held on to it, and by the second he finally ults, that's when you see Predators taunt.
All right, so I'll talk about GetFisher for a second. After this fight, Mango Man really trying to take down Predators. He has the disadvantage here, Predators at least, and Mango Man wants to keep pushing the aggression. GetFisher finally rotating back. I don't think Predators realizes he's trying to back, and GetFisher's going to turn away.
Just going to back off there. Doesn't want to risk going in too deep. Obviously, the Ratatoskr not on the map, doing his own speed buff. Also, is starting some items here as the team goes aggressive onto the Isis.
Yeah, Mr. Turtle gonna find the pull onto GetFisher, forced out again. It's like deja vu. I mean, from every single team fight we've seen him in so far.
Just, it's gonna be it's brutal right now. GetFisher just barely escaping that one, trying to set up the kill onto the Isis. But, I mean, that was a perfect ultimate from Mr. Turtle there. The second he recognizes that the Susano's rotating into his mid lane or just popping a defensive one, the Isis ult comes down as well, and now Susano can't fight into it, forced to run away.
What does this mean for the Freya? Because GetFisher keeps getting pulled out. He's not able to really do anything. He's level 7, trailing right now, 1 level. What does that do for him?
Obviously, Freya's now going to be able to free farm, which, I mean, this composition was really good at ganking a Freya. Instead, they spent so much time trying to set up kills on the Mango Man, or excuse me, Predators, that weren't successful. That was the worst part, is not only do they choose instead of to focus on the Freya to focus on the Erlang Shen, but they don't get the kills either, which Excellence has been able to now find themselves ahead. The Freya's going to be able to free farm. It's still not the best composition for her to fight into the later this game goes, though.
Maloaise getting pulled back, lots of damage. GetFisher finally going to put himself on the board. 1-1-0. There we go.
Finally getting on the board there. Just Maloaise a little bit overextended, gets picked off. You can see his purification was up. Not burning it in time, though, where the reactions weren't there. And this Neith, Elexum, by herself, so she's not going to be able to stop this. Well, actually, she got those, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Turtle had crashed in earlier on and forced out the Susano beads, so they're going to be down for another 133 seconds. So he's going to be a prime target himself, not being able to purify out of anything.
Going to be something he's got to pay attention to. I'd still like to see him gank this Freya right now. She's had 0 presence on that side of the map right now. She's about 100 gold behind, obviously. The Chronos doing a little bit better in the laning phase, but send a Neith ult over there, like burn the purification. There's so many options they have to set up kills.
Looking for something, but Fly gonna be able to clear out these mid lanes pretty easily. And once again, GetFisher headed over the solo, backed, and now what should his rotation be?
I mean, at this point, it's a little bit harder. Coming into the 9th minute, the ganks aren't going to be as easy. People have boots online, so they're going to be able to rotate across the map a little bit faster. You can see the Isis also starting to work on that Warlock Sash. Again, 50-meter Fly, wanting to be that very tanky target that's hard to get one shot.
I mean, Retribution trying to show up, looking pretty good, especially in this matchup between Mango Man and Predators, but forcing out the ultimate.
That's
Predator's gonna, yeah, that's a kill. Elexum gonna come in and help out, but even if it hadn't, Mango Man had it.
I'm just really surprised it took them that long to kill the Erlang Shen. There was so many opportunities to dive him under tower or set up a gank on the right-hand side, but this is going to open up a Gold Fury attempt as the Osiris can rotate himself. Both solo laners do have TP, so something to worry about as Maloaise might die here in the mid.
Yeah, Maloaise forced to go ahead and dash back into the tier 1 tower. Retribution setting up to get ready for this Gold Fury, and I mean, looking at Turtle, he can't even take the safe route back to his tower. He's got to go all the way around.
Instead, GetFisher playing it safe, though. He's going to strip away the speed buff. No one on Excellence in a position to stop it at all. Maloaise could be trouble here. You could see nMinos just hanging around. Always have to think about that Athena taunt at all times, and probably should be looking to try and burn some purification here.
A little bit of a swap from last game. We saw Excellence doing this to Retribution, but now Retribution keeping them busy while the rest of everybody else goes in and takes out the jungle. But Maloaise maybe taking out himself, forced out the dash. Mango Man not going to be able to find any hits. Instead, boxing back with Predators.
GetFisher there missing the wind siphon. If that connects, maybe a kill happens. But Maloaise, it's been really hard for him to get into these fights. We're seeing him take a lot of burst damage from both the Neith, the Osiris, same with the Susano, just making it hard for the Ratatoskr to dive in, which is what he wants to do. He's got to be fighting you at melee range.
Predator's trying to take his own mana camp, is going to be able to successfully take it, although, I mean, Mango Man's not giving him any breathing room, any leeway. Predators can't even go help out with these team fights.
He has to, but the main issue is that Mango Man should probably be much further ahead in this lane. He's only ahead by about 200 gold, which coming in at 11 minutes isn't that massive. You'd like to see that more at the 3 or 4 minute mark, you know, able to push his minions under tower. Witchblade's now finished for Mango Man, so he's going to have a little bit better of a time, you know, the reduced attack speed making it harder for Predators to clear his wave.
Well, we're 10 minutes, actually technically 11 minutes, and now 1 to 2 stand the kills. Haven't had too much action. Instead, it's been a very slow burn, a very strategic game.
Just no one wanting to really force, and this is fine for Excellence, right? They're only down by about 1,300 against a team designed to kill them early, set up a lot of kills. Also has, obviously, the Gold Fury potential if they can pick off the Isis, but neither team with the Wrath. Excellence now Starting to get into the ward wars. Obviously, with the Isis, they have a little bit better time with objective clear, but they haven't been the ones who have been aggressors at all.
Yeah, and I mean, even that little ward fight, still won by Retribution, or still won by Excellence, who were able to clear that out as soon as they left. Put a little bit of pressure in nMinos, looking for the right opportunity to try and get Fly out, because I feel like that's going to be a really big target coming in with this, with these objective fights. Predators, I mean, getting aggressed upon, but once again, I mean, GetFisher already running away, not really able to penetrate the defenses of Predators.
The big thing there, though, is that Predators burned his ult, and it was just normal abilities coming out from the other two here.
Yeah.
As nMinos still pushing forward. I don't think I've seen him taunt but once, and right there, he had the opportunity to, but a little bit hesitant.
Good pull.
There's the pull.
Good pull coming in, forcing out the backflip from Elexum. Now Maloaise trying to put the pressure on, but instead going to turn around back at this Athena. Stun, not going to connect to GetFisher instead. Neither is anything.
No one, yeah, it just seems like Excellence sitting under tower doing a really good job of delaying Retribution's aggression here, but it's going to be the Gold Fury attempt now from Retribution, at least a bait for the fight. You can see nMinos hanging around that corner. Oh, and there's trouble. Maloaise going to be immediately forced to ult, recognizing that the dash forward probably wasn't in his best interest.
Farleez going to find the whoop, but nobody there to really follow in. Two-man knock-up. MangoMan taking a lot of damage. The rest of the team is here, too.
They're all grouped.
They're all grouped up. Here comes the stun. Here comes the slow. Predators forced out in nMinos, just waiting for the right opportunity to go ahead and try to find the curse. Up around the back end, Fly going to be able to find nMinos. A beautiful knockup coming out from the Typhoon, and then the whoop coming in. Jeron going to be able to find Turtle in the back line.
Retribution finding a couple kills in this fight. Mango cleans up one. Predators answers back against GetFisher. Overall, a 2-for-2 right now, but still Retribution pushing forward. Predators doing a good job right now, juking out, trying to stay alive as the rest of this team chasing him down. He's able to juke out a couple things, but he can't juke out everything. The quick turnaround and the stun from Isis as well, going to make it impossible for Retribution to keep up the chase. 2-for-2 overall. Retribution should have won that much cleaner, but so hesitant. They're like just way too hesitant to make plays off the Athena. Just sloppy shot calling or sloppy plays from both teams, not committing to whoever's making these calls.
But Predators was able to get out.
No idea how.
I mean, the turtle. It really just came down to the turtle. The jukes, the turtle, and then the positioning from the rest of his team, too. He was able to fall back to them, even though he was cornered and pinned up. That's the action we were looking for, though.
Finally, but the main issue is that neither team was able to get anything off it. They traded out kills, but no invades really happened. GetFisher was actually doing cores when that fight started. The team actually didn't think Maloaise would go aggressive. That's what opened up that engage, is that Maloaise jumping down on two players, finding the stun, and then the push forward from 50-meter fly as well. nMinos immediately turns around, gets that multi-man taunt, and then curses four people, but Retribution are still playing defensively. They finally realize they can aggress on, but by that time, Isis is able to successfully zone out with her ult, find a Spirit Ball as well, get a kill in return, and then it just gets sloppy on a fight that Retribution should have won cleanly.
Rotation back on Predators, trying to pinch him in, gonna have a good pull, good anchor as well, but here comes the Typhoon, gonna be a good knock-up. But still, there's going to be the follow-up coming out from Maloaise. Here comes the ultimate from Predators as well. Going to be able to have a little bit more of that healing coming out. GetFisher going to get pinched between Turtle as well. There goes a knock-up and forcing out the Purification. He's going to be able to TP away, but Maloaise going to miss.
Just short. You can see the quick jump away from the jet stream. Barely able to get out right now. And here comes the rotation from the rest of the team. Elexum focusing on Predators along with MangoMan, but Predators probably a little bit too tanky to deal with right now. In the jungle, nMinos found out by Farleez and picked off.
Here we go. Now we're finding the Freya in these team fights as well. Maloaise going to get rooted out by Elexum. A little bit of lifesteal, and he's so incredibly low. He's going to get pinched, and MangoMan going to be able to find him, but there was the Isis ult just in case.
MangoMan still trying to get out. A great pull, though, for Mr. Turtle. Going to force out that ultimate. GetFisher's made his rotation back into this team fight. He was able to get out just barely on 1 health and heal back up, come back in. But, I mean, once again, right, it's just like everyone on Retribution is doing their own thing. We see the rotation from both Magical Hunters over to this right-hand side. Chronos is split pushing, though, while Freya picks up nMinos in the jungle. And the Chronos could have rotated, maybe not saved them in time. He probably dies either way. But instead, focusing on trying to get a tower, he barely touched it. We need to see Jeron rotate to these team fights and make an impact instead of letting his support get picked off in the jungle by himself.
I mean, the amount of CC and damage he brings to the table is so important, and they really could have used that in the team fight. So a little bit of a missed call coming out from there instead. I mean, it's a game happening. but we're not really seeing any cohesion.
We're seeing great individual play. Like,
yes.
all these players are playing really well by themselves. Most of their abilities are connecting right now. Their laning phases have been really solid. The issue is that everyone's just doing different things when the team fights break out. You got some people split pushing, got some people fighting, got some people running. And it's just like, no one's able to make it seems like, a cohesive call. And this is a lot of excellence to stay in a game that they easily could have been 6,000 behind at this point. Instead, only about 1,500, excuse me, separating these teams.
When they're capitalizing on each other's mistakes, and there's a lot of them right now. I mean, both of these teams have a lot of room to grow and have a lot of synergy to really bring in, especially Retribution, bringing in like over half a new roster.
And I think that's the big thing for Retribution is seeing that their individual play is where it needs to be at. Where this team clearly, like, they're not worried about their players, being bad or having to replace anyone. They're really just going to be focusing on getting everything together, which it's going to be hard, right? You lost not only 3 members, but one of those members being Proxy QQ, who was just a tried and true veteran that was able to kind of teach the team on what to do with shot calls.
Predator's going to be able to secure the own buff here, but GetFisher and MangoMan hot on his heels, forced to use that heal coming in. nMinos coming around the corner as well. Good taunt coming, but MangoMan ulting. Beautiful stun through, and the Typhoon, the knockups, the Isis ultimate as well got popped. Lots of healing and lots of damage for Retribution.
Perfect ultimate there from the Isis, stacking up everything along with the Maloaise knockup. Just not enough damage, and that was the story of both teams there, where you saw the full commit onto Predators. The issue is MangoMan's ult comes out a little bit too late, so the heal still goes through. Predator's able to get a big chunk back, and they invested a lot into that. Doesn't end up happening, but thankfully they were able to escape as well. Could have got dangerous because that was just such a good engage. Obviously, Maloaise finding that 3-man knockup, the Isis ult stacked as well, but just not there just yet. You can see the damage from Isis a little bit low, put a lot of investment into the Warlock Sash, wanting to get that health more than anything else.
I feel like, I mean, we're still seeing the teams go for the kills instead of these objectives. There have been a couple of times they probably could have gone and taken a Gold Fury. There's been ward fights, but there hasn't really been any engagements there.
No one's been able to go for the Gold Fury just yet. It's because no one's been... No one's had a clean fight won. They've had some engagements where they've poked people out. They've had some, back and forth where 2 players die, but then the other 2 die. Neither team has just won a team fight, but like just clean, where it's like all their members are healthy and they can go for a bigger objective.
Yeah, I mean, this slap fight, I feel like it's the cleanest we're going to find here with Excellence and Retribution right now. Predator's getting pushed out once again by MangoMan. There's a little bit of a level difference coming out there, but eventually that's not going to be a factor anymore.
No.
Ooh, good taunt.
Oh, could be trouble here as Maloaise going to be pulled back as well. And Retribution doing a solid job of always poking people out. Maloaise specifically has had a very uncomfortable game. You can see 1-3-1. He's died more than anyone else so far. And it's just kind of that instant poke of Susano pulling you into the Neith arrow, the Athena taunt as well if you don't have your purification up. So it always becomes dangerous. A dangerous game on when to burn those purification.
And we saw that last game with GetFisher on the Susano. He wasn't really bringing in all these kills. Retribution waiting for the opportunity. Excellence going to turn around this corner. Good taunt coming onto Turtle. They're unleashing everything, but a beautiful 2-man stun coming out from Isis. Turtle's still so low, but the Typhoon not going to hit him, but Maloaise going to be able to take him out, but MangoMan finally finding the Turtle and now trying to get out with a sliver of his health.
Mango's going to be able to get this. You can see the chase coming from Predators, but Mango runs away from his team. It was a very clear option going north into the jungle. The rest of his team was waiting. Instead, isolates himself and probably could have set up a bait for Retribution to find another kill.
Oh, there was so much damage coming up from Farleez, but I'm not really sure what she was aiming at that point. And now GetFisher going to be able to get away right now with the safety of his teammates. Jeron, however, going to force to use that Sanctuary. Predators chase him pretty hard, but
probably doesn't have the damage to chase this right now. Chronos level 20. His rewind was available as well, so might have been able to force out that. A little bit too much of a risk, though.
Just a little bit. Predator's going to find the pin onto these minions, and instead, I mean, we're 6-6 for 20 minutes, almost 21 minutes in. Maloaise really trying to make the plays, but half the time, the team isn't there to follow up.
And that seems to be the story of both junglers. GetFisher and Maloaise are making these really smart, intelligent, aggressive plays, but the rest of the team just not committing. both of these teams, it doesn't matter who wins this set, doesn't matter who wins this game, both of these guys are going to have to go back and watch some VODs because there is so much to work on when it comes to following up on shot calls. And even, it might be that no one is shot calling for this team. Maybe they're just trying to do it as a unit and it's just not working out.
Maybe it's like Eager, they haven't found their voice yet, and now we actually saw them yesterday do a really good job.
Yes.
Find their voice. Both of these teams still need to hit that point.
21 minutes into this game, 6-6. Gold is dead even as well, what, 300 separating them right now?
Yeah, there's
no gold
hardly
furies
nothing
even looked at. And I think what this game is going to happen to is just eventually people are going to start hitting level 20. Eventually players are going to start hitting full build as well. You can see both magical hunters have. And then it's just going to be a story of there's too much damage. Where we're seeing a lot of these players able to sneak out of the first attempts of the fights, like the Susano, like the Ratatoskr. It's just not going to be able to happen anymore.
Retribution pecking at that Gold Fury, currently looking, I mean, probably baiting out. They're going to try to do the same thing. Turtle going to come around the corner, but there's no follow-up coming out from anybody in Retribution. There's only two here. Going to find the good taunt, and lots of damage coming out from Farleez currently, but Maloaise is going to be able to dash out of anything
pull.
Retribution. But the beautiful pull coming on. GetFisher going to get pulled back, but
no one in position there at that point. It was a nice pull, obviously, but it's not going to be able to set up a kill. And once again, we go back to the reset. It's a lot of poke here. I still think we've seen less than 5 taunts out of nMinos, which just can't happen as an Athena against this composition. There's so much potential to set up. And you can even see he's gone into a shell, so sometimes you're going to be a little bit wary. You don't want to dash in, go aggressive with the taunt, and then just get immediately blown up. But with the shell, I mean, maybe it's because he went breastplate too. Like that's what I don't get, because breastplate is a double-edged sword where you have more cooldown, so you can have multiple taunts in a fight, but you also don't have the health. So if you're the first in, it becomes a little bit scary where you can get turned on. But we're not seeing any of that from him.
You're talking about potential. Retribution had so much potential to go ahead and shut down half of Excellence comp. But now we're going to get to that point here soon where everybody's going to be level 20. Everybody's going to be within a couple of levels of each other, and then we're not going to see that.
It's so funny because there's been so much fighting going on. The side lanes have been able to free farm for the most part. You can see level 20 coming out of the Freya and Chronos, level 20 out of the Osiris, level 19 out of the Erlang Shen. But everyone else is lagging anywhere from 3 to 6 levels behind because they've only been engaging non-stop and haven't had the time to actually efficiently farm up in these lanes.
Look at that. That was taunt number 6 coming out, but no
okay, I don't actually.
He
might have had more than that. I was just saying. I just haven't seen too much of it.
It's a very low number coming out. It should be a lot more aggressive, especially with the team comp just around this Athena. They have so much potential, and we're not seeing it. And I mean, both of these teams are just completely disengaging after everything. And
at this point, it's really hard for either team to get aggressive. No one really has that edge or opportunity that you see. The differences in gods is a little bit more minimalized here in the late game.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's going to come down to this Chronos and Freya, right? Can Chronos free cast? Can Freya free cast? You can see both teams actually giving their red buff over to those hunters.
Mega Man doing a little bit of progress here, starting to attack away at these towers, while meanwhile trying to find Chronos. 2-man rotation over in the duo, but not going to be able to find anything. So instead, no action once again. But Mango does almost have this tower completely down, and Predators just chasing him out.
How are these towers still up?
I have no idea.
Because we've seen this fight happen a million times, and neither of them have a tower yet.
Nope.
Why are people still laning? That's what I'm lost at.
People are focusing on the kills like last game. We're not seeing these objective pushes. And I mean, every time we saw, the closest thing we had was when Retribution were trying to bait out Excellence to turn that corner and have that fight at the Gold Fury. And then from there, they all just disengaged and split.
They've done 2 of those now, and it looked like they were trying to set up for that again here. And the manliest of fights going on the right-hand side here. Trouble for nMinos in the mid. I think he got a little bit aggressive. Elexum surprisingly firing his ult there. No one was really chasing. And it's going to be a full commit by Mango.
Yep, Mango using the ult, really trying to lock down Predators. Here comes a Turtle. Now he's going to be taking some tower shots too. That's going to be 2, at least 3 coming in. But Maloaise going to be able to come in and punish Mango. So there we go, a little bit more action.
And a good job from the rest of Excellence as well. Actually, this core of Freya, Isis, and, Sylvanus, sitting next to that Gold Fury, recognizing that they had committed Maloaise to the right-hand side means that opened up a Gold Fury attempt for Retribution, but just positioning themselves, making sure that Retribution weren't going to be able to walk away from it, and the first tower falls 25 minutes in.
Excellence able to turn that around. Retribution trying to put the pressure onto that tier 1 in the solo. Instead, as mentioned, just completely flipping it. So now, I'd like to see some of that aggression flipped in favor of Excellence, really start to find their voice and start to give us a leader in this game.
It's going to be a long game, I think, here, with both teams having just this very, very close battles. No one's been able to really win a clean fight just yet. We're 26 minutes in, and it's just been... The only thing that we've seen someone win cleanly is probably that gank we just saw. That was probably the only thing where it's been one gank and nothing answered back off of it.
It's been one and done. Just nice, clear, and concise immediately. And I mean, that's going to be the plays they need. GetFisher trying to follow suit with that play. Instead, going to get whooped by Farleez. GetFisher trying to find it, but forcing out the Valkyrie's discretion and basically just negating the Neith ult.
It took us 26 minutes to see a gank in the dual lane, and it goes unrewarded by either team. Maloaise countering back here, and now the Soul Laner starting to get involved. Osiris still on the right-hand side. Predators very deep into this jungle. He's pretty tanky at this point, though, so I don't think he has much to worry about. His Bulwark of Hope online, Witchblade and Breastplate as well.
Yep, but this does leave a little bit of leeway coming out. Excellent's going to be able to start really aggressing on this Gold Fury. Already down pretty close to half, and Retribution haven't sniffed at it just yet. They're waiting for the right opportunity, and instead that's going to go to Excellence.
Finally, a clean fight. GetFisher over the wall as well. Throws the ultimate, and a
Beautiful.
Great counter ultimate from the Sylvanus as well. Finding 4, just trying to run away right now. nMinos, Predators very deep. Fly actually takes out someone in the back line as well.
Mango Man going to find Turtle, and now GetFisher forced out and forced into the Purifications. Fly taking out Mango Man, but going to find Elexum and Predators. And now GetFisher just avoiding the damage as much as he can, able to take out his laning partner while Maloaise finds GetFisher.
Just absolutely outplayed in the back line. 4 dead on the side of Excellence. Retribution finds the extra kills there, although Excellence was able to successfully get the Gold Fury in the end.
Yep, GetFisher gonna go ahead and rotate back on level 20. At this point, I don't really see this game focusing in on the experience anymore. Everybody's gonna hit this before this game ends. Towers are now starting to fall. Fly forced out of the Purification. Neith ultimate used once again. Not gonna be able to find the stun, but a beautiful root, and Elexum gonna find a nice kill.
Maloaise a little bit late there with the ultimate, trying to help out his mid laner, but it's already been crushed. The tier 1 has been taken on only the right side there in the mid as well. It's going to be back and forth here. No one's been able to win a fight cleanly just yet. Really good job by GetFisher and Maloaise in that last Gold Fury fight as well. Both finding kind of these fringe kills there. They got both poked out, kind of backed off in the end. Maloaise getting actually the better in the jungle versus jungle matchup, though.
Excellence able to pull the graphs up a little bit back in their favor. You can see that little dip coming in. But looking at the player damage real quick, Neith and Osiris completely dominating currently by at least 2,000.
I mean, we're almost 30 minutes in now, so it's not that much here. Oh man, this has been very sloppy set, to say the least.
Yes, I mean, both of these teams have a lot to work on. They have a lot to go back. When you mentioned going back over on the VODs, I mean, hopefully they'll take some of your advice to heart. They need to really just lock down who's going to be the shot caller and go with one thing, because it's so scattered right now.
29 minutes in. We've seen this before. Predators and Mango somehow still in a laning phase. I don't really get this laning phase on the Soul Laners, 30 minutes into the game, but they're still going to attempt it right now. Ratatoskr actually getting a really strong split push on the left-hand side, and no one in position right now for Retribution to stop this, so they're going to push forward here, and they're going to look to counter push.
It just took 2 hits to take that tower down, so now I guess the laning phase is over. Good taunt coming in. Beautiful, beautiful Typhoon. Nemo's coming in, and GetFisher going to be able to find Predators as well. They're giving the chase to Turtle. Not going to be able to find the root, but they are going to be able to find the tower, and Retribution now running with some gas.
This is going to be a free Phoenix and likely a wipe of the map as well here. Retribution really far ahead. Maloaise going to try and stop here. He's going to jump down, find a 3-man knockup, and focus in the back line. Somehow Farleez ends up killing Mango Man. The Phoenix does fall here, but a life for Excellence once again. Retribution not able to walk away cleanly and unscathed.
I mean, it wasn't clean. It wasn't pretty, but it's progress.
A Phoenix finally goes down here. No Fire Giant tip coming out from Retribution, though. Excellence able to answer back, and that was, I don't know exactly what happened there, but that had to have been brutal for Mango Man. You could see the timer on his Bulletproof Hope actually 8 seconds, which means it did not proc against the Freya. It had procced at a different time for him, unfortunately.
A little earlier. GetFisher forced to teleport away and use the purification to get out of the damage that Farleez is able to just pump out. Next objective more than likely going to be starting to sniff around this fire giant. The ward battle has happened. Now that Retribution have a little taste of victory, or at least a little taste of progress, they're like sharks, they want to keep going.
Ooh, excellent. Starting this fire giant up a little bit surprising. I mean, nMinos is just right around the corner here. Predator is going to find a 2-man taunt, and it's aggression from Excellence, but a little bit off the mark there as the whoop kind of displaces the pool.
nMinos able to dash away, not going to find him, not going to be able to lock him down, but he has nowhere safe to go. Instead, he's going to have to loop right back around, and yeah, that's gone. Farleez's going to be able to get credit for the kill, but Mango not brought out by the stun.
Just trying to run away. He's going to be looped in place. His ultimate is online here, trying to get closer to a wall so he can escape, but he's holding this. He's going to finally jump over. He's going to be able to get out successfully here. The jump in the air from Maloaise as he goes deep. Predators, I don't know where the hell he came from. Going to fall to Elexum behind a tier 2 and a Phoenix, but a 3-man pull from Fisher, and he's got to retreat. Chronos pushing forward as well, but neither team able to find an edge. It's a poke war from both, but Mr. Turtle going to be able to heal up his troops.
Beautiful pull into the tower, get a little bit of extra poke. That's what GetFisher succeeds at when you look at this Susano. Unfortunately, he was forced out. There's not going to be another big fight, but all in all, I mean, who do you have to give that to?
No one.
No one?
No one.
Okay.
It's just back and forth.
Because there was no progress.
It's 12 to 13. I don't think these guys have been separated by more than 3 kills at any point. The second one team starts to get an edge, it's immediately turned on. I mean, going back to that fight on the right-hand side, right, which opened up the tower and the Phoenix for Retribution, that was the taunt we were looking for the whole time. nMinos just sneakily around the corner, finds the dash 3-man taunt, and the team just piles in. That was the cleanest fight that's been won in this game. Retribution played it perfectly. They were able to get the Phoenix as well. Mango Man, though, a little bit overextended, did fall to Farleez, but that's what we need to see more of Retribution doing. That group up, focusing on this Athena, letting her engage for your team.
Yep, I mean, that's going to be the best route. Maloaise and Fly going to be able to take out this speed camp. I mean, they don't really need the experience at this point. The only one that needs to hit 20 for excellence is Turtle. Whereas, I mean, same situation for Athena, but level 17. It's just a supports, yeah.
They're almost full build right now. I'd say neither of them having an edge with having maxed ults, obviously. Probably give it to the Sylvanus, because Athena's ult not going to become very effective here.
Beautiful coming in. Good knock up as well. Good silence. Looking for the Typhoon. Not going to be able to really find anybody, but going to try to pull Farleez in, forcing out the Valkyrie's discretion. But here comes Maloaise crashing in. 4-man knock up. And now GetFisher trying to run away once again. Predator's hot on his heels.
And this is actually a good fight for Retribution right now. Excellence, I think, overcommitted. Isis ult, though, going to be solid for now.
Nice.
Heals up a lot of what Excellence, the poke they've taken, and the pin making it hard for Retribution to keep chasing. GetFisher forced to back in that last fight. He doesn't have the healing like a Sylvanus does on his team, so he needed to make sure he was healthy, and you could see Retribution already starting to push forward. The Athena ult is good, and ManLikeJeron finds Predators.
Predators gonna get stunned out by that Neith ultimate, and then just get completely collapsed in upon. Turtle gonna be able to find a little bit of breathing room to back off, but this does leave the Fire Giant open if he does not stay here.
Turtle doesn't want this to be given up for free. Retribution pretty hard committing on it, and nMinos doing everything he can to peel. Fire Giant under 17%. This should be free. Turtle not going to be able to make it in time. He does have one ability, though, and it's not going to be there. Retribution secure the Fire Giant 34 minutes in. The Phoenix on the right has respawned, but the gold is dead even. The experience is dead even. This is not going to be a free push. This is not going to be a free win. Excellence are going to fight back.
It's just going to come down to the nitty-gritty. How good are you at your god, and how good are you at synergizing with your team? Retribution going to take a little bit of this momentum and take it to the Gold Fury. Every little bit counts, and they want to start trying to slowly amass this lead. But we're going to get to that point where everybody's going to have full items,
it's
and
really
everybody's
close.
level 20 almost.
I mean, everyone's basically full items outside of the junglers and one mid. Obviously, Hunter's having a little bit cheaper full build, as mages have pretty high cost items. You can see 50-meter fly still working on that. Working on his Rod of Tahuti, which he probably wanted to have done before, this next fight, and he is going to be able to back and purchase that up.
Chronos absolutely melting this tower. This tier 1 stood absolutely no chance over on I'm over on the duo side. I was wondering, yeah, they're going to wait for the rest of the team? No, he just went in and he crushed it.
I'm looking at both of these magical hunters. They're going to be the ones that you got to look out for. You can't let them go untouched. If I'm Mango Man and if I'm Predators, my job is to shut down Jeron and Farleez respectively. Do not let them just free cast. Do not let them ever feel comfortable. It's going to be a little bit harder, I think, shutting down the Chronos because he has rewind. GetFisher probably going to have to help out there and try and deal with the Freya.
Retribution rotating over to the mid side. Now there's one tower left, and it is already gone before I finish the sentence.
Right-hand side. Team just going to be focusing on the weakened Phoenix. Retribution know that this is not going to be free. They're going to have to play it safe. The Whoop and Spirit Ball are down. This is the best opportunity for Retribution to go in.
Yeah, the biggest forms of CC are gone. Mango Man already crashing through, looking for that tether. And meanwhile, there's just so much damage being pumped out onto the Phoenix.
Everyone's split right now. This could be trouble. Predators and Maloaise in the back line as well, looking to isolate Jeron. GetFisher's ult is way off the mark here, and Curse from nMinos just to distract the rest of Excellence.
Predators, a nice tasty target. Spirit Ball not going to connect with anybody. Instead, Isis ult coming in, going to get a little bit of healing done, but Mango Man still just being an absolute nuisance, trying to find Predators once again. Going to get a good little bit of a knock-up. Beautiful ultimate coming out from Mr. Turtle, and Mango Man being chased hard is going to be found by Maloaise.
Oh, Farleez still pumping in the damage to GetFisher, and the rest of Excellence pushing forward. This is great for them. Predators, the two-man knock-up. The follow-up damage, the Spirit Ball's on the mark. Fly takes out Jeron. nMinos on retreat as well. Excellence hold. They don't lose a single member. They don't lose a single Phoenix. The Fire Giant going to be completely useless.
Predator's going to be able to take out Elexum, and now Excellence really just turning around with this momentum. Just so good.
I mean, the issue is that Retribution, once again, they just didn't take the fight like they needed to. They didn't play off the Athena taunts. They didn't play it safe. They went way too aggressive. Looking at Mango Man, he dove into the backline against a Freya, which that's what he needs to do. He needs to shut down that backline. But he did it by himself. The rest of his team was not in position. They couldn't even get in to hit the Phoenix.
Yep, a little bit of gold difference coming out now, just with these towers falling. Excellence really answering in strides now that basically over half of Retribution is down for the count. GetFisher and nMinos, the only ones that have the Fire Giant left, and these respawn timers, as we get into the 37, almost 38-minute mark,
you're looking at 60
are a
plus.
very long time.
You're going to be looking at 60 plus at some of these. Maybe not right this second, but depending on how long this game goes. The last tower is going to remain, though. And, Predators just able to back there. So still one tower remaining for Retribution. The rest of them have been cleared off the map. Only one Phoenix has fallen on the right-hand side, thanks to Ret pushing in there. But outside of that, I mean, no one has an edge. Everyone's full build, even supports at this point.
I feel like every time Excellence or Retribution make a play, there's always an answer. There's nobody's inching forward. I mean, even now, Retribution took down a Phoenix, so Excellence took down some towers. I mean, there's no real difference between these teams.
It just comes down to the coordination once again. We're not seeing them go in on one target. We're seeing Mango Man doing a good job of, I think, dealing with Farleez in the backline, but the primary issue is that he does it by himself. They need to be playing off these taunts from nMinos, and the same thing for Excellence. They haven't really been engaging, but that's been okay. They've actually been playing off of Retribution's mistakes more than anything, but at some point they'll have to start getting aggressive.
Now, we saw that team fight at the Phoenix prior to. Everybody got split up. I mean, there were like ones here, there was maybe two people here, and then just, it was so scattered. I don't understand. I just don't get it.
It's just, it's just getting a little bit confusing. Obviously, everyone's trying to do a different job, and so it's not working out. But Farleez has got to be paid attention to. I mean, he can't be left alone now. His damage is going to be devastating. He's got Rod of Tahuti online, Polynomicon as well. Or excuse me, not Polynomicon, but Pythagorean's piece here. And nMinos going aggressive again, finding the taunt.
Going to find the taunt onto Turtle, plus a lot of follow-up damage from the rest of the team, but not going to be able to follow up on that. But Retribution trying to throw their weight around, put as much pressure on Excellence as possible. If anything, it's the intimidation game.
They've also burned the Purification and onto Maloaise, and this is exactly who nMinos should be looking for. Instead, it's going to be Predators, who's absolutely shredded. A lot of commitment onto this very tanky solo laner, and he's going to be able to reset.
Yep, there goes the Turtle. Good knock-up coming out from Turtle as well, but not going to be able to lock anybody down. Now Maloaise is by himself trying to find GetFisher, but he's going to get turned upon by the rest of the team. Jeron getting credit for the kill, but now Elexum super low, waiting for one more hit from Farleez, and that's going to be it.
This is a problem for Jeron. He's going to rewind, but by himself now, the rest of his team trying to get away. You could see the run from nMinos. Good slow on the Predators here, but it could be trouble for Mango Man, who stayed a little bit too long. GetFisher trying to get out as well, and he's going to be whooped, and this Freya is going to shred.
Good whoop coming in, but Mango Man's still doing a good job of staying ahead of the pack. You're just waiting to hit him. That's going to be the knockup that they need, and now at this point, waiting for Freya to come back again, and there it is. Since they're right here, might as well take the tower.
This could be a Fire Giant as well. Going to be 3 dead, only GetFisher and Athena there to stop, and Jeron hanging around the corner as well. And they're going to back off. They did lose Maloaise, so maybe a little bit hesitant. They only have the 1-man advantage, but at the very least, Excellence can look to bait this. They do have the Freya, who should be able to do a lot of damage, and 50-meter fly going to start up the FG.
I mean, Mango Man's not going to be back for 45 seconds. Elexum not back for 20. If Predators can zone out, they have the damage to take down this Fire Giant very quickly.
They don't have the Ice Assault to secure, though, so instead they should be looking to bait a fight, but the issue is Predators is zoning by himself against a Chronos who's absolutely able to shred him, and now the push forward from ManLikeJeron as well forces the purification on Farleez. Probably not what he wanted to do, and Jeron just doing so much work in these team fights. Now you can see 31,000 damage for him. Going to start to really be above the rest of the pack.
I mean, if these team fights happened 30 minutes earlier, how do you think the game would have gone different?
I mean, at 10 minutes, who knows, right? This is... I mean, it just seemed like neither team really felt confident, I think, in their early game more than anything else. GetFisher obviously tried to set up a couple things, but the main issue is that no one was really following up on GetFisher, and kind of just, he got caught out alone, overextended a little bit, and kind of paid for it because of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's getting to the point now where our support's going to be level 20, so you know that's a long game. You know these guys are getting tired, too, maybe even desperate. They have so much to prove at this point. Fire Giant is being started up by Retribution, but immediately leashed because they want to take out Farleez. A good taunt coming in. Jeron going to be able to melt through him.
The problem is they're still very grouped up. Maloaise might be able to go aggressive on this here, but the rest of his team isn't in a position to follow up, and he's finally going to come down just to get a knock up on nMinos. But this is trouble for Excellence. They're going to get chased down, knocked up on 2, somehow still escaping. Turtle's going to fall. 50-meter fly falls as well. It's only Maloaise.
It feels like deja vu at this point. Maloaise going to get targeted through. Good purification to stop it.
Low.
But nMinos very low, and now they have to worry about Predators and Maloaise here once again, forcing out the Sanctuary, but GetFisher going to be able to find Predators. Now, the only one really left right here is Maloaise, and Retribution have a chance to take down this Titan.
They can pile in on this. It's going to be almost too hard. Maloaise finally going to fall now. And Retribution going to answer back. First game going to Excellence. Second one to Retribution. It was a little bit sloppy, but they get there in the end. And honestly, they had all the momentum. They were really the only ones being the aggressors. Excellence were doing a great job of counter-initiating a lot of that onto Maloaise, but just not enough in the end.
I mean, it was really close to. A little disjointed, a little messy. But, I mean, you have so much room to improve. We saw a lot of potential coming out from these guys.
Rival, looking at Rival and Cyclone, they look very solid. Clearly the top two. Excellence and Retribution, though, they have a lot to work on. But this is only the second week, so this is a really solid showing from both of them, though. They have that time to grow into more dominant, more cohesive units, I think.
And I mean, it's all going to come down to the back of these players that have a lot of experience and maybe able to, just help carry the team. Like Jeron, for example, coming into this fight, wanting to put the pressure on these towers. He's shredding through them, but after that, he's able to continue up with these fights.
He was the difference maker in the end of these fights, I think, because Freya had a little bit more trouble, and this was the play that led to Excellence finally, or excuse me, Retribution finally finding this win. Just that taunt, that 3-man taunt into the immediate follow-up. The Susano ult comes through, and Jeron just able to hit those basics.
I mean, I don't really know what else to say. We saw a lot of improvement coming in from last week, but between Excellence and Retribution, I'm really glad to see Excellence really show up. Predators, for me, really stuck out, but Retribution, glad to see GetFisher really getting on with this Xbox, getting on with the console scene.
And yeah, and I think we just need to see a little bit more of shot calling from them. I think a little bit more of a unit, the synergy there. Once they have that, it'll be a lot more of a competitive league, I think.
Well, speaking of competitive, I like competitive play, but I also like the PvE aspect. And I told you earlier, I'm going to be leaving for Xingtian's Mountain here in just a second. But what does MC Saul have to say about that?
You can see it on the screen there. I think he's just talking about, it's not too stressful, right? But I feel like that's a lie. It's going to be fine at first, but once you start seeing those leaderboards, because there are leaderboards for Xingtian's Mountain as well, it's the co-op PvE mode. And I think if you see people get really close in rounds, it's going to be pretty stressful with everyone just yelling at each other like, why'd you mess up that fight?
It's going to turn into my WoW raiding night. It's going to be pretty ridiculous. But not to forget to mention, you can go to the hi-rez expo where all of these teams are trying to fight it out, duke it out for their spot on that big stage. Go to hi-rezexpo.com. You can see me, you can see the rest of the casters there, and you can see Peckies. That's the biggest part.
No one wants to see Peckies.
I mean, we keep him in the bag, but he's still
That's
pretty
fine.
awesome.
Yeah, maybe he'll come out every once in a while and say hi to people. But no, hi-rez expo is going to be awesome, and that's what all these teams are obviously competing for as well. You're going to be able to get to see your favorite players. Maybe, right? Hopefully your players will make it. But everyone's got different players. Someone's going to have their favorite player not there.
Exactly. Any final thoughts about today?
Rival look really solid. I think, despite the split, I think Rival are the better team. I think they got clearly outdrafted in that first game, but just so much presence and power in game 2. And they were actually decently close in game 1 as well, kind of holding on for quite some time. Cyclone is the number 2 for me, but they're new to the SCL, so they have so much to work on. They have so much to improve. And then Excellence and Retribution. We see these new players coming in. 50-meter fly impressed me, I think, more than I had originally expected. Same with Predators. Mango Man, after getting kind of demolished in game 1, had a much better game 2, and Jeron looks pretty solid as well. So I'm excited to see how those bottom 2 teams grow and develop.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Thank you for sticking with us for the EU SCL. This was week 2. Week 3 coming at you next week, starting with NA at Monday. If you want to tune in for more Smite shenanigans, Thursday starts the SPL.
Final weekend there.
Exactly. Well, thank you from all of us at hi-rez from the casting desk, and of course, Peckies. See you later this week.